Good morning, metalheads of the internet, to the Metal Meltdown's very first vinyl update of 2022. Hell fucking yes! Y'all know me, I love vinyl, I love music, not just metal, all kinds of music, and as such, I listen to a lot of different music, and I buy a lot of fucking vinyl. So today, I'm gonna tell you all about some of the vinyl records, not some, all of the vinyl records that I have purchased in the last 3 months. Basically everything I've collected since the previous vinyl update video in December of 2021. I will be talking about all of these albums in the order of which they came into my possession, and we will start now officially with a Christmas present from my brother-in-law's brother. I'm not sure what that makes him to me specifically, like my brother-in-law. If there's a term for that, feel free to let me know. The album in question is Time's Out from the Dave Brubeck Band, a classic jazz album on classic black vinyl. Perfect record for a cool, misty morning and a glass of red wine. For those of you who do not know, this is one of the most iconic jazz records of all time. Even if you're not really familiar with the name or the imagery, I promise you there are some time-tested tunes on this thing that you have absolutely heard in some capacity, somewhere, at some point in your life. A lot of unusual time signatures, a lot of sexy atmospheres. This is prime baby-making music, if you catch my fucking drift. It has aged remarkably well for an album that's, over 60 years old at this point? I love it. If you don't love it, change that immediately, because it's a fucking fantastic record. Thank you again to Adam Knowles, if you are watching. Next up, we have a slew of records purchased from my boys over at Sonic Boom in downtown Toronto. We've got not one but two classic records from Led Zeppelin, Led Zeppelin 2 and Led Zeppelin 4 on classic black vinyl. I love these records. I actually talked about Led Zeppelin in full with Mad Mike back at the beginning of June. 'Twas a pleasure to do so, by the way. Technically, I do already own this album on vinyl, but it was a very, very, very old copy, not in the best condition whatsoever, so it's nice to have something a little bit more crisp, a little bit more modern, you know? Something that sounds a little better and is in better shape, especially since this is one of my favorite rock records ever. I mean, there's tons of classic tracks here. Whole Lotta Love, The Lemon Song, Heartbreaker, Bring It On Home, which might be one of the best fucking tracks of all time, if you ask me. Love the artwork on the gatefold on the inner sleeve as well. Like, that's just fucking beautiful. No disrespect to you either, Zeppelin 4. You gave us Rock and Roll, Stairway to Heaven, and so many more iconic tunes. It's been a pleasure to jam you on vinyl as well. And another really cool design on the inner sleeve. Look at that. This is where I have to argue with people who are like, Led Zeppelin isn't metal, because this right here, this is metal as fuck. Like, tell me you couldn't picture this being the artwork for some, like, late 1970s, early 80s doom metal record. I know I sure as hell could. Next up, we have another classic album. It's Heaven and Hell from Black Sabbath, heavy metal pioneers and icons, one of their only albums with the late Ronnie James Dio on lead vocals. Still to this day, a lot of people forget that Black Sabbath did indeed continue for quite some time without Ozzy fucking Osbourne. This is the remaster that was released early last year. I've been wanting a version of this album on vinyl for some time, any version, frankly, because it's just a fantastic fucking record. Happy to finally have it. Classic cuts like Neon Nights, Children of the Sea, Die Young, and of course the title track, Heaven and Hell. I love the inner sleeve for this too, which is basically like giving you detailed information on everything surrounding this record. This also comes with a second LP, which is essentially a live album. It is a compilation of songs from this record performed live with Ronnie James Dio. Fucking fantastic shit. It's just a solid reminder that Ronnie James Dio really was one of the best metal singers of all fucking time. Classic black vinyl for that as well. Not a lot of funky colors or variants so far in this vinyl update video, but that is about to change thanks to this particular record from Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats. I love this record, a truly disturbing, violent kind of doom metal, stoner metal record with like super retro vintage production value. It's raw, it's creepy, it's weird, and it is pressed on an absolutely stunning kind of transparent white with purple and white and silver and black streaks and wisps. Look at that. That is beautiful. It looks like a piece of candy. I want to bite into it. This one, if I'm not mistaken, might have come from Cops Records. Maybe. I don't remember. I spent a lot of money on vinyl on this particular outing. That much I do remember. If I'm not mistaken, this was also the same weekend I purchased the Metallica Black Album box set, which was so big I decided to unbox it in a standalone video, which I did. So go watch that as well. I mean, finish this video first, but after that, go watch the Black Album one. Cause please and thank you. That'd be really cool of you. Couple more records from another outing to Sonic Boom because, you know, they basically just have my wallet there 24/7. I spend way too much money there. We have Garbology, A$AP Rock, and Blockhead. Really cool, inventive, modern hip-hop LP. This was one of my favorite non-metal albums of 2021. I've always been a big fan of A$AP Rock and Blockhead. Nice to see the two of them working together on a full album. Again, the vinyl is actually made out of recycled materials and is pressed on kind of a silver vinyl with some black and some purple flecks and wisp all through, if you can see it. It's kind of hard to make out here. Or at least that's how the first LP is pressed. The second LP, I mean, it pretty much just looks like a straight up black, but if you look carefully, there are some other little flecks and wisp in there. Kind of like a really, 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 really dark kind of olive green. I don't know, that might be really tough to see with my shit-ass camera, though. More importantly, it's just a great record, as was Jubilee from Japanese Breakfast. This was also one of my favorite non-metal albums of 2021, and honestly, just one of my favorite albums of the year altogether. I love this record's fusion of like 80s pop and indie rock. It is so soft and sensual and ethereal. I just can't help but be in a good mood while listening to this record. It's fantastic from start to fucking finish. Like, for real, if you don't have the biggest, dumbest smile imaginable while listening to tracks like Be Sweet, you're heartless. It's that fucking simple. You're not going to convince me otherwise, so don't bother trying. Classic black vinyl for this as well. No special variant needed, though. It's just great. And finally, the last record I picked up from Sonic Boom, because after this, Ontario went back into lockdown because, you know, Doug Ford just hates fun and good times. I picked up the Battle of Los Angeles from Rage Against the Machine. This record has aged pretty well, in my opinion. A lot of the things that Rage Against the Machine talks about in their music remains pretty relevant today, unfortunately. And of course, the musicianship is just next fucking level, but I will admit I bought this more so out of nostalgia rather than because it was, like, still a really good record. I mean, I remember when this came out, I remember listening to it in high school when I was starting to get really into both rap and rock and heavy metal. And I just jammed so fucking hard to so many tracks on here. Born of a Broken Man, Testify, Guerrilla Radio. So many iconic fucking tunes. Honestly, as far as I'm concerned, this is the greatest piece of rap metal ever fucking produced and released to the general public. Like, nothing else comes fucking close. Period. Not for me, at least. This next record comes with a little bit of a story. Longtime viewers on the Metal Meltdown may remember that last year, I showed off my entire vinyl collection in a very, 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 very long live stream. And I was under the assumption, before doing this live stream, that I owned every single Def album on vinyl. It did not occur to me until we started talking about Def in that live stream that I did not. I was missing one key record. Well, ladies and gentlemen, not anymore. Symbolic. Fuck yes. From what I understand, Metal Blade Records owns the rights to this particular Def record, whereas Relapse owns the rights to literally every other record. This one, however, was not put out by Metal Blade. This particular version was put out by Revolver Magazine. Only 200 copies were made, and I got myself a motherfucking copy. So I can once again proudly say that I own every single Def album on vinyl. And I can even say that I own Symbolic in particular on stunning bone white vinyl. Hell yes, look at that. Of course, because it's Revolver Magazine, it also came with a copy of Revolver Magazine, literally, in like this slipcase. And it's an issue that is pretty much all about Def. In fact, it's got Chuck Schuldiner on the cover, so that's kind of neat. That's kind of cool. This is, yeah. Thanks, Revolver Magazine. Although, if you are watching, please get better at actually getting vinyl out there, because, like, my lord, I waited way too long for this to fucking show up at my doorstep. Unfucking believable. I mean, thank you, but seriously, you need to fine-tune this shit. Next up, a record I pre-ordered ages ago and only very recently finally received, but the wait was fucking worth it. One of my favorite metal records of 2021, probably my favorite Def Doom record in a long, long time. Everglade from Worm. I love everything these guys have put out, but this is their best record yet. The production is unfucking real. The music is truly fucking grotesque. I love it. Phil Tugah just became a permanent member of the band, the same Phil Tugah from Atramentus and Cathealist, so I cannot wait to see what he brings to Worm's sound and identity in the future. No doubt it'll be even more batshit crazy than this, which would be one hell of an accomplishment because, whoa, this. That artwork alone is worth all the money in the world. But, you know, the actual vinyl itself is a pretty fucking close second. Pressed on kind of a swamp green with some black and little bits of red and white. Look at that. That's fucking badass as shit. Thank you to 20 Bucks Spin and Worm for that. Oh, here's something I didn't notice before. I legitimately did not notice it. There's a giant fucking poster. Oh my god, it's fucking huge. There we go, look at that. Look at that. Holy shit, how did I not fucking notice this before? That's fucking badass. Oh, that's going on the wall. I don't know where. I don't know, maybe there. Y'all don't know what I'm looking at, but I'm like figuring out where I can put this fucking bad boy. It's so fucking cool. Thank you, Worm. Alright, the next couple records I'm about to show you are all courtesy of a gentleman on Instagram by the name of Extreme Metal Vinyl. This dude is a straight up fucking connoisseur of extreme music and vinyl, duh, hence the name, but his collection is so big that he had to start selling a lot of that vinyl through another account on Instagram called Extreme Metal Vinyl for Sale. And through this account, I picked up multiple classic death metal records. The first of which, Cause of Death from Obituary. Oh my god. The second of which being fucking Dawn of Possession from Immolation. I forgot the name for a second there. Look at that. The third of which being Pierced from Within. Suffocation. Oh my lord. And there's one more. It's Blasphemy Made Flesh from Cryptopsy. Oh my fucking god. That's fucking... Look at that. Look at all of that. That's fucking beautiful. This is actually beautiful. If I could find out that I have a long-lost son right now, and I would not love that child as much as I love these fucking records. Honest to fucking God. Blasphemy Made Flesh is on standard black, but this bad boy, Pierced from Within, is on gold vinyl. Booyah. Or my apologies, more of a transparent yellow. Dawn of Possession, however, is a gold vinyl. Kind of a brownish gold, but gold nonetheless. And the GOAT, Cause of Death, blood red vinyl, because of course, what were you expecting? Hot pink, perhaps some rainbow splatter? Nah, I mean that would be cool, but nah. Blood fucking red. Hell yes. I don't think I need to explain why these records are as badass and as legendary as they are. If you don't, however, know, then just go check them out and hear for yourself. They are old school death metal legends. They rule. They kicked ass when they were originally released, and they kick ass now. Yeah, just go listen to them. It really is that simple. But ladies and gentlemen, the death metal madness does not end there. We have more death metal. This time it's something a lot more modern. In fact, it's only been out for like a month. It is Erebus from Venom Prison. Honestly, my favorite album of the year so far. Everything that Venom Prison has done so well on previous records has been taken to the next fucking level on Erebus. It's more provocative, it's smarter, the production is fucking fantastic, the guitar licks and solos, the percussion, the vocals, all the performances on this thing are just insane. Songwriting is fantastic. Pain of Oisice and Comfort of Complicity, Technologies of the Deaths, Veil of Night, Judges of the Underworld, just bangers. All bona fide fucking bangers from start to finish. Terrifying artwork, by the way. Holy shit. Just horrifying. This I would not mind having a poster of. In fact, who knows? Maybe there's a poster of that in here. It's possible. I straight up didn't even notice the worm one, so who the fuck knows? Bad news, folks. No poster. But there is colored vinyl. And this is on like a bright, kind of like sunburst yellow. Look at that. Look, that looks like a fucking creamsicle. I fucking love that. Fucking beautiful. Fucking fantastic record. If by chance you have yet to check out this record, do so. It's amazing. Check out my album review. Check out my interview with guitarist Ash Gray. Holy shit, my camera's about to die, so let's just wrap this up real quickly. Thank God there's only one more album to talk about. Synchro Anarchy from Voivod, the latest studio album from French-Canadian progressive thrash metal crew Icons Legends. I also interviewed their lead singer, Snake, here on the Metal Meltdown. I also think this is one of the best albums of the year so far. And this is pressed on green vinyl. Look at that. Kind of a dark candy green. Love that. And look at that, another poster. I think I have time to do this. I got like 1 minute before my camera dies. Yeah, I got time. Hell yeah! Look at that! Voivod. I wish I had more time to talk about this album and this band, but my camera is literally dying, so wrapping it up. We're good. I've shown you all the vinyl that I picked up in the last 3 months. Booyah. Now it's your turn. What vinyl have you been jamming lately? What vinyl have you purchased lately? What vinyl are you on the lookout for? Let me know in the comments section. Press subscribe. Updates. Duh. Yeah. Booyah. Vinyl update. Nice. See you later. All right.